There we go.
Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. So I'm going to be starting us off. Okay. So the general question we know is what factors into a total rewards package and why is that important? But for my part, I'm focusing on why it's important for a company to have the right balance in its total rewards package. So in our compensation textbook, it's stated, and I'm quoting it here, how people view compensation affects how they behave. It does not mean the same thing to everyone. And so this stuck out to me because it showcases how people with different personalities, different values, people from different backgrounds are all motivated by different things. So some people care more about pay, some people care more about a flexible schedule. So finding the right balance helps a company meet the needs of their employees, which keeps them motivated. And so I found this article from the Harvard Business Review, and it's titled "Why Employees Stay." And it states if a company wants to keep its employees, it should also study the reasons for retention and continuation, and then enforce those factors. And so we know the total rewards package plays a big part in keeping employees happy. If they like their job, if they're being paid enough, if their schedule's flexible. So it's important for companies to ask themselves, is our package balanced in a way that keeps our employees happy? And so I found some more information from the Society of Human Resource Management and just really adds to this by further emphasizing that modern employees, especially, really value a balance between financial and non-financial rewards. So if a company can deliver these things well, they're more likely to build trust and commitment within their employees, which makes sense. Um, so to summarize why this question is important, it's because a balanced total rewards package is about knowing what your employees value and being able to reward them in a way that makes them want to stay. That is what I have for that.
Good job.
Okay. I also looked into why I think it's important for companies to create their own unique balance of total rewards. And what I got is that I think that companies need to like create their own instead of copying others because every workplace is different. And I think it all depends on the company's culture, their workforce, and their like business goals. An example could be a flexible work policy might not be the best for employees at a tech company, while like traditional manufacturing company might focus more on job security and benefits. This balance could help attract the right people and also keep them motivated, even if the a company may not be able to give out the highest salary. And I thought it was interesting to show how much like thinking and strategy goes into it and not just like throwing it out there. And I got this information from an article called Corn Fairy. I got from Google Scholar, published July 18th, 2024. That's just one of mine.
You make some good points on why it's important to tailor your rewards to the individuals because not everybody wants the same thing.
Yeah.
I agree. Or not every company can offer the same thing. Like Mike was talking about in our class, like on Tuesday, basically saying like some companies can't offer flexible work schedules just because their hours have to be specific hours. Like a hospital can't offer that. So I think that's a good point that you made. Does anyone care if I go next? Just to get it
Go
out
for
of
it.
the way.
Go ahead.
I did kind of the easier one. I just did like what makes up all the different categories of
That's what I did too.
rewards. So I just won't dive too deep into it then. That way you can still have some talking points also. We all know compensation is a big one, benefits is the second one, work-life balance, which is most important to me in my life. Then there's performance and recognition, and then career opportunities or development. And those can obviously look different for every company. I specifically work in a company where there's a lot of flexibility with work. And that really is motivating for me to do a good job. So I can speak personally that that is a
Mm.
playing factor. So yeah. Do you want to touch on that, Ryan?
Yeah, I can go next. So, pretty much had the same thing as you. 'Cause you did the same question. So mine was according to Juice Financial was my source for their five components of total reward strategy. It was professional growth opportunities, performance recognition, flexibility and work-life balance, comprehensive benefits, and competitive compensation were the five that I had that were the big ones.
Very
And then
similar.
yeah, they're pretty much the same, honestly. I mean, it's the same question. There's only really a few valid answers to that question. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
a little bit more than that, but I mean, I can elaborate or I can just keep it pretty simple there. I mean, it's like I have my
Yeah.
notes I'm reading off of.
I have notes also. I just went off the SHRM site and I also used a Paycom, I guess an article from Paycom and then Helios.com as well. They all kind of dive in a little bit deeper, but they're all kind of interesting because it ties into, I guess, what benefits benefit different people or what roles you're in. So, does anyone want to go next?
I can go next. So, mine, obviously, all the questions are connected to each other, and mine is the one I chose to do is the one that if a company can't afford like as many direct cash or like indirect benefits for compensation, what are some important types, relational or non-monetary return rewards can they do?
I
So
did that one as well.
yeah, that one was very interesting to me because there are so many different things that jobs can do to make people interested in them and get people to stay. So I just put that um, pretty much it's important to have a good work culture. Like, of course, having a desired workspace with it can lead to a lower turnover rate, and then having people have a positive attitude about work. And then, as we've gotten taught in this class and just in the HRM section, like a positive attitude leads to people being more motivated about their job and the work they're doing and stuff like that. It can cause a job to stand out for better or worse, depending on what the culture looks like. Um, and according to this article I read, it said that a positive workspace culture is made out of having like a strong, enlightening, similar core values, a space and trust to communicate, and having a significant purpose connected to the cause at hand. Um, that, amongst other things, helps ensure that people are interested in an organization and feel comfortable motivating them to stay with that organization for a long time. Um, it's just pretty much having a community where everyone wants to be around each other and stuff. And so, even if there is an aspect of the job that isn't as desired or goes a little bit downhill, because of that culture, sometimes people will want to just pretty much stick it out anyways because they do have that group or environment that they are comfortable in. And then I would also say that a flexible work schedule is something that not all, and like flexible work arrangements is something that a lot of people value. Like, as you were even saying, it's important for a lot of people's regular day lives. But obviously, all jobs can't provide that, especially if it's like something more labor orientated and stuff like that. But in the textbook, it talks about how allowing flexibility gives employees what they need to be fully present and involved in their work. Outside of work, people have different needs. They might be sick or need to be at home due to an emergency, or they might have like disabilities or something that can make it difficult to come into the office. But it doesn't mean that they don't want to work or that they don't need a paycheck. And so um, it can be amazing for them to get that support and accommodations from their job if their job allows it. Um, And now, because of like COVID and stuff like that, a lot of jobs have been saying that it's definitely possible to allow more flexibility in certain areas, especially if, for instance, the job is like finance based or something like that, or like a field where you're just at a desk all day. Like that person could be at a desk at home, or if they have certain deadlines that need to be met, they might not need to be there from 8 to 5 or whatever the case is. They might be able to get that stuff done, in the beginning of the week and just be home for the rest. If they're done, there's no reason to have people there just sitting around, pretty much. So I think that that one is important as well. And then just having a job that, like you guys were saying, does career development as well is another way that they can compensate employees, and giving employees that training and stuff, because then once people are learning at their jobs, that's going to entice them to want to keep on showing up and stay around, so that the way they can keep on getting skills, and then they're going to want to pour those skills back into the company that's teaching them in the first place. So
Yeah, those are all really good points.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
I would agree.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to basically list some of the important types of relational and non-monetary rewards because I have a giant list here. And I'm going to try not to repeat myself because two of the websites had like the same information. But one that really stood out to me was giving employees time to work on their own projects, like ones that they're passionate about. And the example in this article was Google offered employees time to work on things that they were passionate about, and it ended up being profitable for the company because it led to the development of things like Google Maps and Gmail. Additional time off, so offering like birthdays off or being able to finish early on a Friday or come in late on a Monday, mental health days to encourage people to like unplug from work. And they're like offered these things for great performance or meeting goals. Um, so tangible rewards are gifts. Company swag, so like shirts, mugs, pens, hoodies, that can be personalized to employees' preferences. When I worked at State Farm, they offered this, but there was like really expensive like North Face jackets that you could go on and get like like go online and get the State Farm logo like put on it, and the company would pay for it. So that's like another really good example of reward that you could give. Um, the fringe benefits, so free meals at work, restaurant vouchers, movie tickets, health insurance or retirement, gym memberships. These are all tax deductible for employers, or they're able to like purchase in bulk and get group rates, so it costs less. Um, did I already? Let's see. So flexible work hours, letting employees set their own schedules to suit their lives so they can focus on work while they're at work. Give options to work remotely or hybrid. I thought that was another good one. And then also workplace autonomy. Managers give employees the freedom to make their own decisions and manage their work independently without being micromanaged. So those are just a couple of them. I think I'm done with my little rant for now.
I like how you, and Sophia did this too, but I like how you threw a personal experience that was directly related to the topic with State Farm.
Thanks.
So,
Sarah, you're up. Your time
so
has come.
yeah, for me, the kind of the small standout for me is kind of the important to have a specific balance of the right total reward for the company because the balancing total reward is crucial to meet diverse employee needs and motivate performance effectively. Especially it aligns employee incentives with company goals and enhance retention by addressing eccentric and eccentric motiv motivator. Help this help cover everything you guys thought or the whole time. Every people, every worker, they will have the expectation about the reward. For the for example, in my research, for the some young people, they want to get the higher base pay. Kind of in the textbook we talk about the merit increase. But for the some worker, they already married and had the family member. They prefer spend more time with their family member than working in the company. Yeah. So kind of about the flexible schedule and the work-life balance, especially about the money. Some people they really care about the money, but some people they want to balance between their work and their personal life. So it's kind of very important to me for the company kind of to have the balance, the reward for the each worker. Not everyone kind of same. Everyone will have a different requirement about the reward they want to get after they already work hard for the company. Yes, that is my opinion. Yeah.
I agree with
Nice.
having like not everybody cares about the money, but
Hmm.
some people care about the work-life balance. So I really like how you touched on that because so,
Yeah, I know in the chapter one we already study about the money and the base pay, but kind of not many people they want to get the high money, but they spend 24 hours in the company. That's so terrible.
yeah, that's a lot.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with your point. Because a lot of people, they can get paid a lot of money anywhere, but they would have to jump through hoops and pretty much end up dying at the company. So all those other things are important to have.
Yeah.
Okay, I am gonna stop the recording.